Good morning, everyone. I'm Trey with the First Date Fix, and today we're going to be talking about relationship tough guys. Okay, now you're thinking to yourself, what on earth are you talking about, Trey? What is a relationship tough guy? But a relationship tough guy can be a man or a woman. Now let me tell you a story. A long time ago, I went on a first date with a lovely lady, and we were talking about relationships and essentially what she wants from a relationship and why she's looking for a relationship. And you know what she said to me? She said this line to me that I've heard a lot of times throughout my dating experience. She said this: I don't need a man, I want a man. You know, whenever anyone tells me this line, I just shake my head because it reeks of deflection. Everyone needs someone. You're not meant to be on this world alone. Our bodies are literally made to come together. Can you live your life alone for the rest of your life and be happy? Probably, but the fact of the matter is your life is far better experienced with someone by your side, with someone sharing experiences with you growing with someone, with you having fun with someone. Life is far better that way. So sure, you don't need someone. Sure, some people might not need anyone to survive, but you want someone. I get that notion, but in reality, everyone needs someone. That's just how it is. We're not meant to be in this life alone. So when she told me that, I just kind of eye rolled, and to be honest, I clocked out the whole date. But the reason why I'm telling you that story is because we are living in a world of relationship tough guys and girls, where essentially people are in complete defiance as to what they really want, as to what their heart truly desires, because they're so tough and no one can truly see their vulnerability. And I think it's pathetic. I really do. So what makes a relationship tough guy? I'll tell you. Number one, they are defiant with their independence. No matter what, you will never take away their independence. The reality is, anyone you date, anyone you're in a relationship with, no one's really trying to take your independence. No one openly goes into a relationship or a dating scenario thinking this: I truly am trying to take their independence. Soon they will bow down to me. No. When you get in a relationship, you're still going to have large facets of your life that remain independent. But you have to relinquish some independence when you get into a relationship. Otherwise, what's the point in even being in one? Number two, their perception of the dating universe is very, very negative. They assume that all men and women are trash and that people always cheat. When you're first dating them, when you're first trying to get to know them, you should be proving yourself that you're worthy enough to even be in the same room with them. Number three, they refuse to open up. They've been hurt before and they don't want to be hurt again, so they don't want to open up to you. They have these weird idiosyncrasies to write you off when you've just shown up to the date. That's your real crime. They've been hurt before, so they've built up so many walls in order to protect themselves. That helps you in zero way. That means that essentially no one else can come in. Anyone who's high quality isn't really going to wait around to knock down those walls, because there are other people who are emotionally mature, who have gone through therapy, who have worked things out within themselves, where they would rather find someone that has the same kind of mind equilibrium, where they figured things out for themselves and they're looking for someone who has pretty much done the same thing that they have. They act like they're the only people who have been hurt. I've been so hurt in the past, I couldn't possibly let someone in. Are you the only person who's gone through repeated heartbreak? This is something that is not exclusive to that person, but they believe to themselves that sometimes they feel like they're the only people who have gone through those kind of heartaches. And in reality, that's just not true. Typically, these people, if they're in the wrong, they refuse to admit it. They rarely apologize. Even if you're very specific about the things that they have done that have hurt your feelings, they rarely apologize. Or they say, I'm sorry you feel offended by what I said. Those people are the worst. If you apologize, they say, yeah, that's more like it. And they will never acknowledge what they could have done better in the whole situation. Even if they were in the wrong, they play victim when you call them out for their BS. So if you turn around and say, I feel like you were out of order in that, they say, wow, you feel like I'm out of order? Me? I can't believe this. I've never been spoken to like that a day in my life. when in reality, they're the person who might have been trash in that situation. This person is never rejected. No one ever breaks up with them. Everything is always on their terms within their head. You could break up with them via phone call or via face-to-face and say, I'm breaking up with you because I'm just not interested anymore. And they'll tell their friends, their family, it was a mutual decision. You know, they'll tell anyone who hear it that you didn't break up with them. It's the equivalent of someone saying, you can't fire me, I quit. And everyone else in the office is just kind of sat there like this. They are immovable. You are always on their schedule. They're never considerate to any plans or time that you might have. For example, I remember when I tried to plan a date with a girl. It was a second date, and I had said to her, are you free Friday? She said, I could be free. Let me work something out with my friend because we might have plans. Let me check on that. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, by the end of the day, she'll be able to tell me whether she's free or not. All she has to do is probably text her friend. I said, when do you think you know you're free by? She said, a couple of days. A couple of days? To know if you have one day free? And she couldn't quite wrap her head around the fact that I might need to know, you know, I could wait a day till you could maybe tell me if you're free, but a couple of days? So I said to her, okay, no worries, we could do another day if you're free. And she turned around and said, well, if you need to know this very second. And I just remember thinking to myself, is this woman so polarized in her own head? Is she this selfish that she can't see that most people, you know, might want to make other plans with their friends, with their families, not where you could turn in a situation and say you might want to make plans with that you can't wait around for a few days for someone you barely even know to make time for you. This is a red flag, people. They're so immovable that making plans of them is difficult. Nailing down an exact time, a day, and a venue is like pulling teeth. Everything's a standoff. That means every single conversation you have has to be them standing on their soapbox or kind of, you know, dying on their shield for things such as politics, such as race, such as wokeness. They always have to die on their shield for just a simple sentence. I remember once when I was watching a movie with a girl and it was The Invisible Man, and the girl was kind of getting out the bed, and I'm like, oh man, like she better get out of his house real quick. And then she said, how do you know it's his house? And I said to her, I don't know, I just assumed. It turns out it was his house, but she had to make a stand about it. And like, these kind of people are just annoying. They're fake. They protest about so many things, but deep down it's not who they truly are. They are the equivalent of the tough guy in the bar saying, hold me back, I'm gonna take him out. And then you're like, okay. And then the guy does this. Well. It's so clear that they've been through so much relationship and emotional trauma, but they're just not mature enough to deal with it or have dealt with it in the past, unfortunately. Their whole image is to pretend that nothing can hurt me, rah, 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 I'm such a tough person when it comes to relationships. You can reject me, you can throw dirt at me, and I'm still gonna be standing. But in reality, everything hurts people. People are not perfect, okay? If you have any kind of soul or personality, no matter what kind of pain you go through, it's going to hurt you. But these people are in defiance that nothing can hurt them. They're not even real with themselves as to the pain and trauma that they've dealt with. You know, they just move on to the next person as soon as they have gone through any kind of heartache, because they're not mature enough to just sit there and deal with the pain. They surround themselves with echo chambers in defiance as to who they really are. So if this person is consistently selfish, consistently thinks about themselves, consistently wants things on their terms, they surround themselves with friends and family that just gas themselves up. Yeah, you're amazing, you know, forget that person, it doesn't matter what they did, you're so amazing, you couldn't do a single thing to hurt anyone. When in reality, no one's perfect. And if people keep telling you that you're this amazing person when they themselves are not in a relationship with you, when they're not in a dating scenario with you, this person is going to gas themselves up and they're going to be single for a very long time because they haven't realized that they might be the problem. Here are some solutions. If you find yourself in a situation where you're dating someone like this and you feel like everything you do is pulling teeth, leave. Just stop seeing them anymore. If you see any of these signs and they continue to manifest themselves, just cut the cord, especially if you're 1 to 3 dates involved in this and you see any of these signs. This isn't going to go anywhere nice, no matter how attractive they are, okay? they're not ready for what you want. And it's not your duty to get them there or to help them get them there. They just don't want the same things that you want. They're not ready for you. You are far more evolved and mature, and you've dealt with all your pain. They haven't. Now, if you really like this person, positively call them out and check for even an ounce of humility. If there's an ounce, you could work with it, but in my estimation, I just don't feel like it's worth it. And last but not least, ask for some kind of authenticity. For example, if I go on a first date with someone and I say, you know, what's really important for you right now in regards to dating or relationships? And they just say, oh, you know, I'm just looking to have fun. I don't really know what I want. I think I'll know when I find it. Like, it's just such a cliche to me. And sometimes I'll look in a woman's eyes, and if that's generally what she's on, she just wants to have fun and, you know, do her thing. I'm like, you know what, that's all fine. I'll give it 20 more minutes. I'll pay for the check and I'll leave, okay? But sometimes I can tell that's not really what they want. And I'd be like, is that for real? Like, would you see yourself actually wanting a relationship? And if they stick with that original story, again, I'll get the check, I'll give it 20 minutes, I'll leave. But for the most part, sometimes they'll be honest and be like, well, to be honest, this is what I want. And I respect them for it, because eventually they've come clean with their intentions. But if someone truly is just looking to hook up and have fun, you know, do your thing. I am not hating on anyone that, you know, wants to do that. But if that's not what you're looking for, have 20 more minutes of great conversation and wish them well. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you feel like there are any tidbits of information that were helpful, feel free to give me a follow. I might have some great videos in the future that could also be beneficial to you in your dating life in 2021. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.